Now, to apply for scholarships, there are certain documents that run through almost every application that I've seen, okay? One is the transcripts, like I'm saying. You need your transcripts. I want everybody to write in the chat box, if you don't have your transcript, that I am going for my transcripts. And your certificate, write in the chat box. Everybody will see you here before everybody in Dear Young Graduate. If you don't have your transcripts, make sure after today's session, Monday, walk to your university, pick a bus to wherever you are, if you're in a different state, and go for your academic transcript or your certificate. Because let me tell you, these things, you just need to have them on your fingertips. You just need to have them on your feet and snap it like that. It's not now that if you find a scholarship, you are actually going to look for it. I'll talk about deadlines. You don't need to do that. So I beg you, if you haven't, write it in the chat box that I am going for my transcript and my certificate. It is very important. Now, one thing also that cuts across is your CV, your curriculum vitae. And you will need to focus your curriculum vitae to an academic one if you're applying for scholarship. Example, in the CV, which is for academic purposes, your research-related activities will come on top of your employment. Even if your employment is on top, was your employment feeding into your area of interest, you will need to write it specifically in a way that is to the particular course you're applying to. Example, you're applying for an MBA, okay? And they require that you should have done a master's course, or you should have done an ACCA. You would want to put the ACCA requirement on top of any other employment that you have done, because that is the requirement and that is what they need from you, okay? So academic CV is written in such a way that it has to fit the particular call that you're applying for, or the particular scholarship that you're applying for. And this is what Joel Anama will take you in the scholarship documentation session. He will bring an example that will explain detail by detail. In fact, at that point, I hope you are writing, because I would love that you open your old CV down. If you open your old CV down, you start making the changes, start cutting across before you send it to us. Now, most scholarships will also require something we call a statement of purpose. Statement of purpose. What is your purpose in life? Write a statement that fits your purpose. That is all. With the particular scholarship you're applying for, why are you applying for it in the first place? They need that. Now, they will also need a letter of motivation sometimes. Why are you motivated to learn that particular course? Why should you? Why should you? Separating Lawrence Asari from Don Yagais. Why should I give the scholarship to Lawrence rather than Don? What is your motivation that is underlining that factor? They want to be able to see a motivation. And let me tell you something. Last month, I was on the panel for selecting students, okay, PhD students into my group. Now, when I read everybody's letter of motivation, okay, in a snap of a finger, I can be able to tell who will get the scholarship. I can be able to tell which people, who has the highest motivation than the other. Maybe in the natural sense, Don Yages actually had more motivation than Lawrence, but because of the way he wrote it, I was able to see, I was able to feel it, okay? So that's how it is. You can be able to tell. So you need to be able to write and master the act of writing, okay? Now, some scholarships also require TOEFL, GRE, GMAT, or IELTS, okay? And they are making a case that you can also have an English language proficiency waiver from your university. So the task I'm giving to you right now is that find out in your university, in UDS, in KNUST, in Legon, in University of Enugu, in Ibadan, where you can go for an English test waiver. Now, Olumi Wayo, who will be sharing with us in subsequent session, was one of the biggest force behind waiving English proficiency. If you had followed him very closely, he put together a call that was waiving English proficiency and GRE. So some of the universities in Canada and the US now have waived that English proficiency exam. And I think that one of the things he's going to teach us here is how to go around it, so you don't have to miss that session. Now, they also request some scholarship-specific essays. So they'll ask you a question like, why do you want to study in Mississippi State University? Or what is your long-term goal? What is your short-term goal? You see, the women here, when you're asking men for their long-term and short-term goal, they are angry. Meanwhile, some scholarship will ask them for it and they'll be quick to answer. Everybody wants future. Everybody wants future plans. And they want to be able to make sure that you have your future plans at the fingertip. So that is how come. So all this scholarship is just packaging, like you're packaging yourself for the right course, okay? So all this, this document that I've said should be at your fingertips. You should have it written. At least you should have an SOP written. You should have a letter of motivation written. Now, all of them fit a particular course. If you're applying for a particular course, you need to be able to fit for purpose. You need to be able to change that essay to fit that particular purpose. You need to be able to change the academic CV to fit the particular course that you are going for. So it's not a one size fits all. Some people use the same thing. The moment they see the call, they submit, and you are getting a rejection. Yeah, because you are not fitting it for that particular call. You need to be able to write it well. One of the things I've also realized is that sometimes when the scholarship asks that you should submit this document through an email, some of you just attach it and submit. Hey, Onugu, why? It doesn't happen that way. You need to write at least an essay to explain yourself. An essay where if I just open your email, I'm touched to open your documents that you have attached. You can't just be dumping things on me. Basically, and these people are very busy people. So whilst attaching all these documents, you would need to add a particular format of writing in your email to send. We will teach you all in subsequent sessions. So I just put together a couple of things based on what we've spoken about, just a summary that you can have the scholarships and what they require of you. Some people go for student loans. Like I'm saying, all hands are not equal. If you have a family member here and the person is ready to sponsor you and the person says that, oh, you go for a student loan, I'll help you to pay, that is also feasible. There are some which are financial aids, some parts which are bursary, some parts that comes as grants. All of them and its particular requirements. So a summary of all what I've said in details. Now, if you are starting your scholarship search, there are these 5 things you should know. Research, guys. Research. At least read. Hey, some people don't read. Like you just see and you're just sometimes all the details are there on the call, okay? But because you're not reading, you need to focus. You need to relax and read and research. Find out more. Sometimes this call are not even showing the way it is, but you just need to read more about it. Share it. Check that eligibility. Do I meet the eligibility criterion? Do I not? Do I do this? Do I do this? And sometimes there can be 4 or 5 calls, okay? You need to be organized. Like I said, I have a book and a pen. A book and a pen works better for me. For some people, Excel works for them. For some people, Google Link works for them. Put the scholarships down in a book. Have a scholarship book and write the name of the scholarship and write what they require of you. Take the one that you have, what email you need to send it, and organize them in that book, in that order. And you know what you're following. All the documentations, organize them and be mindful of the deadlines. So if a particular deadline is saying that in 12th of May, another one is saying in 18th of May, you know that you have to apply by 12th of May, you have to submit all of these things. You have to be organized in that, your thoughts, so that you'll be able to share it. And that's basically what I spoke about here. Now, if you want to start, where do you start from? Some people see all these opportunities and they are quick to apply, quick. Now you need to be sure that what you're applying for is a scholarship, not an admission. And I repeated it 4 times. Apply to a scholarship, not an admission. Let me tell you the difference. Now, when you're applying to a scholarship, or you know the source of your scholarship, okay? And the source of your scholarship says that before you get the scholarship, you need to have be admitted in the university. That is when you take one step backwards and apply for the admission. Example, you're applying to Mississippi State University, okay? And now they have a scholarship known as Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. Whilst you're applying, so you know that your scholarship is going to come from Erasmus Mundus. Whilst you were filling the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, it said that you should have an admission in Mississippi State University. Okay, so then now you stop the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, go one step backwards and apply to Mississippi State University. When you apply to the Mississippi State University and they give you admission letter, then you come back to Erasmus and put the admission letter there. Don't do it the other way around, okay? Because when you do it the other way around, you have a number of admissions without any scholarship. That is when we see a lot of people sending emails that I have admission and I don't have a scholarship. Where should I get a scholarship? Now, there are no scholarships that are there waiting to be attached to a particular admission. No. Every scholarship has a particular focus, like I've explained. Every scholarship has a particular university it's given to. Every scholarship has a particular course it's given to. Every scholarship has a particular purpose it's given to. So that purpose that you've applied for your admission might not fit the scholarship you're applying for. So you would have it hanging there. So always make sure that whatever application you are opening is saying that it's a full funding scholarship or it's a partial funding, depending on your strength. Now, the first and foremost place is to start from Dear Young Graduate, obviously. I mean, we post scholarship everywhere, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Now I'm going to start LinkedIn. I'm going to start TikTok. I'm an old woman from far, but I'm learning TikTok just to be able to give all these opportunities for people. So if you are not following us, the team are going to pop the link, I mean, in the chat box. Follow us, okay? Follow us because we post scholarships Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And everybody here has a particular scholarship on there. You have to start every Monday, Wednesdays, Friday. Go and sleep on Dear Young Graduate. Make it a daily routine. Set a reminder on your phone that I need to check Dear Young Graduate. What scholarship have they posted? Is my opportunity there? There are clickable links. For Instagram, you cannot click a link, but we make sure we put the link in the story just for you to be able to click. Even if you go on Instagram and it's not there, go to Facebook or something, click a link and start the application. Now, another place to also find is Google search. I mean, this one everybody knows. Google search, you'll be amazed by the things that Google can bring you. All you need to find is that fully funded scholarship in agric, fully funded scholarship in civil engineering, fully funded scholarship in so and so, fully funded scholarship in that. You can start with that. Now, some people are country specific. I want to go to UK. Hey, I want to go to US. Hey, I want to go to this. So fully funded scholarship in civil engineering in UK. How hard is that? Easy peasy. And the links will come up. Open them one after the other. I always advise that use a laptop. If you have a laptop, go and borrow. I mean, you cannot give me an excuse because I told you this laptop was bought for my school. I used to borrow laptop. I used to go to internet cafes. I used to go to, I mean, in Ghana, there's a place called busy internet. I can't remember. Long time. You guys sit there. All we are searching for is scholarships. So you don't have an excuse. Excuses are only for people who do not want to try. We start with that. Now the team is also going to put links of other avenues where we also found scholarship. There's postgrad.com. There's a series of comprehensive data for masters, MBA, PhD. There's mastersportal.com. There's bachelorsportal.com. There's findamasters.com. Find a Masters also have a brother called findaphd.com. Now there's phdportal.com. There's shortcourseportal.com. The team is putting these links all in the chat box. Now, we are not putting this for you to, play around with. Okay, you're playing. Today, if you have a laptop, open them one after the other. Take book, take pen. If computer is what you can do, take computer, take Excel, make a list of all of them. Open these portals, go through them from beginning to end, from alpha to omega, beginning to end, and list the scholarships as and when they are suiting your particular schedule, and start applying for them. It will be very good. Tailor them, write it, write the deadlines in them. Write it and know which one you are going from where, okay? Because it will be very good for you. It will help you. The team is putting it, write it. If you can write, I'm sharing it right now. You can write the names of the opportunities. I'm giving 1 minute. Write postgrad.com, take a screenshot, mastersportal.com, find a masters.com, find a phd.com, phdportal.com, shortcourseportal.com, jobs.ac.uk, prospect.ac.uk, best masters phd, masterstudies.com, postgraduatesearch.com. I mean, they are there. They are there. Start on Dear Young Graduate page. Go from today's date is what? 1st April 2024 to December 2023. Okay? Put all of them. I mean, go through them one after the other and go through them. And you start, make the list of the things you want to apply for. Yeah? That if the team could help me in putting the links, I know it's quite a number, so they're going to pop them all in the chat box as and when, and we'll keep by the end of the session. Now, when you have opened all these websites, one of the good exercises to do is keyword search. Keyword search. Now, when you're searching for a scholarship, you shouldn't be fixated on a particular course name, because a particular course name that exists in Ghana is not the same name that exists in Kenya, or it's not the same name that exists in South Africa, or it's not the same name that exists in the UK, neither is it the same name that exists in the US. Sometimes you can find a fisheries course in an engineering department. So if you are searching for scholarships in biological science may be under another particular department of life sciences, because it's not the same way. They don't use the same names as and when you know them. So it is always very good to actually find keywords to be able to channel your search. Now, when you ask Google that my name is Lois, and you say Lois is my name, it always comes with different things. Or if you ask Google that, give me 10 best restaurants in Ghana, it comes with a list of them. Then when you say that, according to blogger Zion Felix, what is the 10 best restaurant? It will also give you another particular. So I'm trying to tell you that depending on how you change it, you have different results for your search. So always find keywords. Now, names of modules, like we call course names here as modules. Names of modules also differ. Okay, so we are going to do a quick exercise in 3 minutes in the chat box on Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook and Zoom, sorry. Put the 3 keywords that you can use in scholarship search engines to find your positions. So if you are in agric engineering, with the topic of keywords, what are one of the keywords? Sometimes it's a particular course you did in school that you liked. So under agric engineering, probably you did thermodynamics. So you can say scholarships in thermodynamics. Okay, or you can find scholarships in maybe you did calculus, scholarships in calculus. But ideally, it was under the course, maybe engineering, agric engineering. So there are keywords of different courses you did from level 100 to 400 that maybe one of the particular courses you resonated with a lot, you loved a lot, was what helped you. So you want to find it. So apart from finding maybe scholarships in materials engineering, you're also trying to find scholarship in polymer chemistry, scholarship in cataloging, scholarship in finance, scholarship in business administration. 3 keywords, put it in the chat box. I can see composite nanomaterials, electronics. I can see them, keep popping them because, pop them in the chat box because, the team will be collating it as and when we are also trying to find search and be able to put scholarship. Will help in finding things this way and sharing them with you. So pop them in. You might never know your scholarships that will pop up. So my answer is that in my search, I'll be looking for materials engineering related courses. My 3 keywords will be catalysis because I did something in biofuel catalysis or material science. So scholarships in material science or material characterization, because I do a lot of characterization using the XRD, the XPS, the SEM, the TEM. For all the materials engineers here, you know what I'm talking about. So I'll look for scholarships in materials characterization. Pop them in the chat box. Pop them in this few minutes that we are doing. Pop them in the chat box. What will be your keywords for a particular scholarship you're applying for? What will be your keywords in the particular scholarship you are applying for? Pop them in the chat box. Pop them. I can see information management technology. I can see applied linguistics. I can see organizational psychology, industrial psychology. I can see environment development. Environment and development, you can also look at sustainability. I can see mass communication. Mass communication, you can also look at communication design. You can do communication for sustainability. I can see health and safety. I can see air transportation management and planning. I can see economics. I can see health service management. Health service management, you can also look at tourism. I can see finance, investment, and banking. I can see accounting. Yeah, I see that a lot as well. Plant breeding. Oh my days, plant breeding is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, it's a good exercise. Put them in the chat box. Pop them in the chat box. We will also extract the chat box. It will also help in search when we are posting scholarships as well. Now, I would quickly go on to certain generic scholarships. Now, I've showed you how to look for scholarships, so you don't even need this in the same way. But it's just that scholarships differ, and US has a kind of a different mode. In the US, most of the scholarships you see are called graduate assistantships or teaching assistantship positions, okay? Because the US believes that when you're doing a master's or a PhD, you should be able to help in maybe graduate activities. So for them to be able to fund you, probably you're a graduate admissions officer, and you're also going to be helping the admissions officer in terms of admission, or you'll be volunteering, or you'll be working in the graduate admission office. So mostly their scholarship comes in the form of the name graduate assistantship or teaching assistantships, mostly the US and Canada. So if you're also searching for scholarships, you can just start by Google search, graduate assistantship position in plant breeding, graduate assistantship position in finance, graduate assistantship position in economics, graduate assistantship positions in tourism, graduate assistantship positions in computer science, depending on what you're looking for, or teaching assistantship position. Those are their fully funded scholarships, and those are what they know and what they go by. Now we put a list of generic scholarships as well. Now the team will be popping them. If you're part of our WhatsApp group, they'll be popping them in the WhatsApp chat. If you're not part of the WhatsApp team, go into our chat box and text a team member your number or your details or a form, fill it, join the WhatsApp group. We'll share all these links. Now this generic scholarship usually run yearly. They run yearly in the US. Yeah, so it would be very good to also, know them. The Fulbright scholarship, I think, is currently open. The AAU International Scholarship, you are welcome here scholarship, and there are more. Find out more here. These are clickable links. We are going to share them. It's just hiding in our coffers, and we'll be ready to share them. In the UK as well, the generic scholarship that exists that are not subject specific, they give it all around. You can have the Bright Chevening scholarship, the Commonwealth Scholarship for Developing Countries. Now, Commonwealth has Commonwealth Shared, Commonwealth Distance, Commonwealth Scholarship. There are 3 categories of Commonwealth Scholarship depending on what you want to apply for. So you can also pop them in. You can also pop them in and apply for them. And there are actually a number of scholarships here also in the UK. Now, I also put that the team will be uploading some websites or scholarship we've collected in different countries. We have scholarship from Japan to China, Australia, to Finland, to Norway. It's a lot. It's a lot. So you can join the WhatsApp group. We'll be popping them in the chat box. Apply for them. Don't just see them and watch them. It's overwhelming. Start one after the other. Now, hold on 1 minute. Thank you. Now we said a lot of things right now. We've said amazing things. We've shared platform, websites, everywhere, anything that you can. or where you could start searching for. We've shared the documents. So if you are here and you don't have that documents I listed, Monday, make it a priority to start looking for it. So now we are coming to scholarship do's and don'ts. You have all the links. You have all the things. What do you need to do? Start. Even if you don't have all the things, your transcript is waiting then they say you should come for it 1 week. Start applying. Start the scholarship. You know, sometimes when you say, I'm waiting, you never come back to it. Just start. I am of the view that just start. Don't wait. Do not apply for everything and anything under the sun. You know why? Because you'll be overwhelmed. You'll be tired. If it's a particular scholarship that is related to you, apply for those ones first before you move to the generic ones, okay? If you don't have any ones that is relating to your particular course and it's only the generic ones you have, you can go on to do that. But if you don't have it, don't apply for everything. You have opened so many tabs. Some people can open like 30 tabs. Don't even click. Start with one. Be original and creative. Instead of saying that Abraham Lincoln said, were you there? Were you there when Abraham Lincoln said it? What are you also saying? Say what you know. Be original and creative. Don't start with those phrases. And Abraham Lincoln said, I'll be doing this and this. He's not your father. Abraham Lincoln is not your father. Do what you can do and be original. Don't expect to win at all times. And I know that the people of the A group and the A category can bear with me that the rejections will come. I said that probably another topic maybe, or in the last session, I'll talk about rejections. How I've also been rejected a lot of time. Be strategic about the search. Winning scholarship essays contain strong examples. If you're saying that you have done an agriculture this, state that you worked with Ghana Cocoa Board, which is one of the best regulatory bodies of cocoa in West Africa, to be able to produce 70 strategic programs and sensitizing cocoa farmers that increase their yield. Give an example of what you've done. At every course, if you are writing an essay, give an example. There is no season for a scholarship. Scholarships runs all year round. There are only seasons for schools. That means the school say they want you to attend in fall. It doesn't mean the scholarship open in fall. The scholarship will open a couple of months prior to that, and your school will start. So there's scholarships every time. Okay? Now repurpose and reuse all your scholarship applications. That's what I said. If you have an essay that you've written for a particular agronomy course, it won't be the same particular essay you use for agricultural economics. You need to be able to realign to fit that particular course that you're applying to. Take the right approach when applying for letters of recommendation. Now, this is a big topic, and I think Olumiwaye will touch on this. But a recommendation letter, you need a recommendation letter from a school. Mostly they ask for it. If you didn't maintain a good relationship with your school, what I advise you is that start attaching yourselves to organizations, to NGOs. Go and volunteer somewhere. Just for the sake of this. It's for a bigger goal. It's for a bigger purpose, okay? So start attaching yourselves. Now, I tell you, all my team members here, because we are now a team, I know people who are volunteering in my team. And so if I'm writing a letter of recommendation for them, it won't be difficult to write it. Attach yourself, do something for the community. Attach yourself to finance corporation where you work. Exhibit exuberance. Sometimes you just have to play the full game for what you want. It's not as if you are being somewhere, but because of what you want, you try and play the full game. Okay? Now use social media. I know, in fact, I've trended a few times on Twitter, and I'm sure that some people here might have even insulted me on Twitter before. No problem. But apart from the Twitter and the whole gang and the whole ganging on people and the whole, using every school, now every academic community, I'm an academic, sorry. So I know what I'm saying. Every academic community is now creating a social media platform. If you are applying for a particular scholarship, and the scholarship is given by Dr. Cheng. Dr. Cheng, Google Dr. Cheng. If you Google Dr. Cheng, you will find out the particular social media that Dr. Cheng works with. And sometimes you will even find some alumni working there. Even if you don't allow me to read, reach out to the alumni or reach out to the particular graduates. I have a particular essay I'm trying to apply to Dr. Chen. Can you read my letter of motivation to me? Instead of using it, Twitter and all the social media to do agenda, please align your search in using social media. Almost all academic community has a social media platform. When completing our scholarship, keep the focus or the mission of the scholarship organization in mind. If you're applying to Chevening, you can't tell me that you were the first in class, you made a GPA of 3.9. They don't care. What they want to know is that how are you helping the community with what you've been able to do? That is what they want. And that's the mission of that particular scholarship. So they want to see that you are writing it out well. They want to see your leadership skills. How are you able to exhibit leadership skills? If you want to do academic courses, Commonwealth Scholarship could be able to also look at that. But for Chevening, you can even have a diploma. You can even have not gone to a university. But as long as you are contributing to leadership and things which are the mission of the scholarship organization, you'll be able to get that. Now, at the end of it all, we spoke in-depthly about what scholarships are. What are the purposes of some scholarship applications or purposes of some scholarships calls? We also gave you some websites where you start from. We also gave you some documents, okay, where these are the basic documents you should have when applying for scholarships. We also made you understand that there are certain scholarships that are hidden, and sometimes they are not even on schools. They are not on the school's platform, but sometimes they are with the particular supervisor that you want to work with. If you find out that, reach out to them personally. If you Google search scholarships in political science and linguistics, and it pops up, there are certain names. Probably Mississippi State University will come. Probably the Open University will come. And probably a name of a lecturer will come. They are not like what we know. They are very friendly. They are busy people, but you can always reach out to them on emails. And one of the things I'll advise is that when you are reaching out to people on email, do it probably on Monday morning. Monday morning or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. By Thursday, we're already getting tired. Thursday or Friday. Always check the time zone. If you are sending an email to a person in the US, make sure that the time zone 9 a.m. in their time. Why? Because 9 a.m. everybody reports to work. So you want your email to be first. That is what I do. I'm an academic and I know what I'm saying. So reach out to them like that. Okay, so this has been it. Basically, this is just an introduction to scholarships and what it is. We've given you the links where you can start off from. All the sessions following will be talking about in-depthly into you found a particular scholarship, how you're going to apply for the particular scholarship, how you're going to write the essays, how you're going to look for the documents. So it's very important that one exercise you do from now, we are giving you 2 weeks. We are going to come back after 2 weeks. You have found a particular scholarship. You have written the deadlines down. You've written the things and the eligibility and the documentations they require for you. You have started with it. And subsequent sessions, you are going to be changing, dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's. So this has been the session. Now, we would want to do a quick exercise, okay? Because a lot of people know that we are doing this session, but we want to enroll everybody in. I also spoke to you about the fact that it is very important to find somebody that is within your field. If you find them here and they are friends and you are actually doing something, don't think about it as a competition. When your admissions or your scholarships get to us, we don't know that Richard knows Benedicta. We don't know that Richard knows Benedicta. At the end of the day, if Richard gets it, he will help you, Benedicta. It's a ripple effect, and that is why Dear Young Graduate is here. All of us here got some particular scholarship, and we are giving it back to you. So it's a ripple effect to be able to help you, hold your hand, and go with you, okay? So we want to be able to extend that reach to a lot of people. Among all the things you've heard here, I would want you to share one main highlight of today's session and tag us on social media. It's a quick exercise. Follow. If you're on Facebook, you're already on Dear Young Graduate page. If you're on Instagram, follow us on Dear Young Graduate. Twitter, we are Dear Young Grad. LinkedIn, Dear Young Graduate. If you are following us for a very long time, we had almost about 20K people on our LinkedIn, but unfortunately, our LinkedIn page, we had to change into a normal page. So now we've set up a new page. So be careful, you can see it. It's Dear Young Graduate. And even YouTube, We post all these sessions. So this session will be on our YouTube channel on Dear Young Graduates. So follow us, tag us, give us a main highlight of your session and tag us on social media. Now you can connect with me as well. If you loved how I spoke, if you want to worry me, if you want to be my friend, I'm always available for friends. In fact, to be honest, I'm not the best of persons to be friends with at this point, but I try my best. Also, I try to give motivations if you're actually applying and you're struggling and all of that. Sometimes I make funny jokes. I crack funny videos in my lab to see that it's not that deep. The academic journey is a very nice one if you have right company. So you can connect with me. And our team will be putting a feedback in the chat. Please do give us feedback so that we can improve on our next session, or we can be able to factor in the particular feedback to our next person, or our next person who will be speaking to us. So this has been the end of the presentation. I hope you loved it and enjoyed. I'm ready to take questions if you have any.